Hello, everyone. This is Mike Aaron Hersterbomber again from XTIVIA with another episode of our CRM Snacktime Snippets. On today's session, we are going to be focusing on the Microsoft 365 platform again, but this one specifically around the project service automation solution. So 365, as we previously discussed in the past, has a few different components that make up the customer experience suite: sales, customer service, field service, marketing, as well as project service. Today's on project service. One of the great things about this tool is it allows your team to properly collaborate on initiatives they have going on, right? Maybe these are external projects with customers. Maybe these are internal projects. But what this allows you to do is set up the project, create various tasks off of that project, and assign the right resources. So that then that way they can track their time. You can track billables and non-billables. You can track, how under or over budget are we going? Are we meeting the timeline that's expected? All of that can be done inside of this system. We're just going to give you a quick sneak peek into a few aspects of it, but trust me, there's a whole lot more. And if you want to see that, we could certainly set up a later, more in-depth, deep dive demo into the system. So I'm going to kind of start in a little bit different spot. And what you see on my screen here is what they call the schedule board. So anytime you're creating a project, obviously you need a project schedule, a project timeline to go right along with that, right? So what we're looking at here is basically a couple weeks. And you can see this is actually in 2020. But what we have up here is the scheduling board. So we have the dates, and this is by the daily view. I can look at it from a weekly, monthly, hourly view, even if I want to. And this gives me a quick peek into my resource allocation over that time period. So my resources are on the left side over here. What you might notice is if you look at these, resources can be various things. So a resource could be an internal employee, like you see Anash Wadia here. Or if I scroll down, see John Smith, Mike Aaron Hersterbomber, Fani Bomana. A resource could be an external individual. So maybe someone from the client themselves, or, I don't know, a subcontractor that you use, for instance. A resource could be a piece of equipment. So if you're renting out equipment to specific projects, and those the pieces of equipment are going to be there for a certain time frame. You can even track equipment as a resource. And also, as you see here, a couple different more examples: conference room A, conference room B. So specific locations need to be leveraged as a resource to track the time that those locations are going to be used up. You can even do that, right? So then as I go in here, I can go in and I can drill into each of these if I want to, but I can see Anash is booked 50% of the time for the next couple of weeks. I can expand on that, and I can see which project specifically he's working on. Or maybe I want to go to John Smith. I see they're booked 100% of the time. I could go see which projects that they're assigned to. So I can see John Smith here is working this JD1 project and all this. So, and if he's working multiple projects that are split out over that time, I'd be able to see that information as well. You'll also note it's a bit little kind of color coded, right? So you can color code the schedule board. So like anybody that's under 100% utilization is going to be, like in this example, this kind of shaded out color. Anybody that's booked at 100%, bright blue. And if anybody was booked over 100%, which could potentially happen, it might be in bright red. You can change that. You can set that up yourselves to figure out, how you want to color code it and all that kind of different stuff, and take this information with you. But the scheduling board, to kind of come back out, is all based on the project itself. So, for instance, if I wanted to go in and say, let's look at this JD1 project, I'll go in there in a second, but I can go in and I can see all of the projects that we have going on at one time. I can see the estimated hours allotted for those projects. All of these are just system views in the system, and you can go in, it's filtered out. You can set up the filters, change out the columns, all that good stuff, and go in and then look at the project itself. So there is a lot of information here. We're not going to touch on all of this right now. We're just going to show you a couple little pieces of it. But I can see, for instance, this JD1 project, right? I can go in and see a lot of the basic information, and just like everywhere else inside of 365, any fields that you see here can be configured. So if there's things on here you don't need, they can be removed. If you're missing things, we can add new fields in, change page layouts. Very easy and straightforward to do. But if I look, I can see a lot of the information on there is going to be around dates, around money, around hours, so I can accurately track the project from start to finish, make sure I'm hitting, timelines, make sure I'm keeping it under budget or as close to budget as possible, all that stuff. You can also set up templates. So what that means is that, like, as an organization, anytime you create a new project, maybe those projects are very similar. They have the same tasks. They have the same resources allotted to them, whatever it might be. You can set up templates so that way, every time you go create a new project, you don't have to go manually put all that information in. You may have to change something, sure, but it saves you time, and that I don't have to go in and create every single task and assign every single resource and fill out all this information. Because if you're using a template, it can pre-populate all of that information right in there for you. So then just kind of looking at it, I can go out into this specific project. I can take a look at the schedule if I want to, and you'll see the next 3 tabs I'm going to kind of show you. They're all very similar in what the data that they show. I just feel like they show it a little bit differently. So it's kind of up to you how you want to look at it. So this JD1 project, I can see here's the schedule because it has all the start and end dates. And also here are the tasks. So I can see the JD1 project and all of the tasks that are associated with that. You can set up predecessors. You can basically make subtasks off of tasks. I can put start dates and end dates, estimated hours towards every one of those tasks, and assign resources to those tasks as well. So, and then along those same lines, every project is going to have a team. You're going to have individuals or resources. So let me back up off of resources, because those resources, again, could be locations, it could be equipment, whatever it is. I can see the whole team, everybody that's working that project, when their start and end date are expected to be, which again, it could change depending on what's going on in the project, but still I can see all that information, how many hours that they've been assigned, how many have they been booked, where they're at. I can also, if I want to, again, get another resource schedule type view, in that I can look at it in this grid here, and I can see who the resource role is in the tasks that are broken out, or maybe I want to see it by the resource itself. And now I can go in and see each resource on that project, what tasks that they're assigned, how many hours that they're assigned. So I can see, we just kind of have a generic engineer resource here that they have assigned 3 tasks, what those dates are, what the hours are, so on and so forth. So this just gives me a more granular view into the specific project itself, right? So all of that, very easy to do. It allows your team to collaborate together. If you're used to Microsoft Project, you can export data out to Microsoft Project and look at it that way. All of that information can be easily tracked inside of the system. If I want to track estimates, so then that way I can see, okay, we estimated 500 hours on this versus, the actual so far is we're at 400 hours. So we're at 80%, and we're not 80% of the way done. You can build, again, triggers, notifications in that. So to get out ahead of that potential issue as early as possible. So if you know on a specific task, we estimated X number of hours and it's not going to be that, you can get out ahead of that as quickly and early as possible so that you can notify your client, try to come to a resolution early on instead of going in after the fact and asking for forgiveness later on, right? So nobody likes doing that. It's never fun. But having a tool like this that will allow you to collaborate as a team, to track the information, to build in automation and notifications to make sure we're staying on track, to work to the ultimate goal of, finishing the project, seeing it through to success. This is a great tool for you to use if you need that capability, especially so, again, if you're already utilizing other avenues or other aspects of the Microsoft stack, whether it's things in 365, like sales, like customer service. Maybe you're using Business Central for your ERP, your back-end accounting system. That can all be tied right in. But also with Teams, with Power BI, with SharePoint, all of those collaborative tools are really, like I like to say, it's not an integration, it's more plug and play. So you hook them up, That data is free flowing between the systems. So again, you have that 365-degree view of your clients at any one moment in time. I know I've kept this pretty short, pretty high level. PSA, as I call it, or project service, has a lot of functionality to it, a lot of very powerful functionality, but it's a tool that allows your team to collaborate and work effectively to see the successful completion of any project that you may have internally or externally. And with that, I'm Mike Aaron Hersterbommer. This was another episode of CRM Snacktime Snippets with XTIVIA, and thank you for joining me.